Hey guys, it's Lisa. Thanks for stopping back at my channel. I'm hoping you're having a wonderful week. We are having a very, very warm week this week. It's in the 90s and I absolutely love the nice warm weather. Um, I need to do something for you as a video, and I got out my art journal book, and I think I'm going to do a art journal page, and what I want to do is whimsical houses. I have no idea. I just have had that in my mind, and so I'm going to work in my Groombacher in and out art journal here, and I'm going to do a page that's going to be landscape instead of portrait. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull this out of my art journal book here, and this is what we're going to work on. I'm going to create my background, and I'm going to use a few stencils, and I'm going back to the basics. I am going to use a bunch of stencils by Sean Petit. I was on her design team a year or so back. Maybe it's 2 years ago now. How do we even know with COVID what year it is now? But anyways, this one is by Sean Petit, and it's called Background Words, and that's exactly where I'm going to put this in the background. So how appropriate. No rhyme or reason why I'm choosing it. It's just what's calling to me. I think I'm going to possibly use a little bit of paint and maybe a makeup sponge, and we're just going to go ahead and get this into the background. And what kind of paint do I want to use? I am thinking maybe some of this fun Arteza craft acrylic paint, and here is my color selections. I've got all of these beautiful selections here, and this color turquoise is kind of calling to me, and I'm going to put that up in the sky area. So let's go ahead and get started, and I will try and list all of the stencils and things that I am going to be using for you. I am going to work on this craft map. And as you can see, I got a beautiful new countertop on my work surface. So very excited about that. I'm going to use a paper palette with my paint today. I'm just going to go ahead and use that over to the side here. That way I can pick up any of the leftover and go ahead and try and reuse that. I'm feeling like I want to use this kind of scripty stencil here, and I'm just gonna, go for it. Like I said, have no real rhyme nor reason why I wanted to do whimsical houses, but here we go. We'll see how it turns out. So that's kind of neat, on the background there. Like I said, it's really warm here this week. Today is Sunday, and we had a celebration of life to go to. Yesterday, we had a celebration of life to go to. People are, getting out there and doing those types of things because we couldn't do anything like that last year. So not that celebrations of life are any fun at all, but you gotta do it and grieve with those people when they had a loved one pass away. And my husband and I always say you go for the people that are still living, not necessarily the ones that have passed away. You just try and go and take your piece of pain with you when you leave, and you know um, just support those friends and family that are there having a hard time. So that's what we did this weekend. Went for a little motorcycle ride yesterday, very short. We didn't go until the afternoon. And so, yeah, that's just kind of what I've been up to. Kind of like that. Kind of neat. Now, maybe just a little bit more up here. I just feel like this is kind of blank up here. And yeah, I'm going to let that dry in the background. This is going to be the bottom. We're going to have the houses up here, and we're going to see how that's working. Now, I did grab out a bunch of collage papers out of my stash, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut these up to resemble houses, and I'll be back and we'll stick those down, maybe work a little bit more on the background, see what happens. Now, some of these that I grabbed out are kind of big bold, and these are jelly plate prints, so mono prints. Like I said, I'm going to cut them into triangles and rectangles and get them to look like some house ideas. Just real simple, you know. I'm really not thinking about this project too much. I just want them to be whimsical and maybe wonky, just a little bit kind of crazy. It's just what I'm feeling today, and I'm hoping that you will follow along with me, and we will make some whimsical houses for this art journal page. This is a nice big house. I don't know how many I'll have on here. Maybe this one's a little too big. I'm going to save these scraps here because they always come in handy now, don't they? And we may be able to decorate with some of those. Here's a really good paper that I had already. There was some paint sprayed on here, it looks like, and taking advantage of that wonderful color. And the print of the music sheet, that's very, very fun. So this might be a little too tall, but I'm just kind of going to town and cutting out what I feel, what's talking to me out of my pile here, and save some of the scraps. And yeah, we will put on here. Now I think this one should go this way, maybe like that. This should go in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now maybe one more, because you know you want to work with odd numbers. Let's do maybe a short one like this. I'm not sure about any of this. I'm just going for it. Okay, so I'm going to cut out the roofs of the houses, and we're going to start sticking things down, and I'll be right back, okay? Okay, I have my houses cut out and ready to go, so we're going to work a little bit more on this background because it's dry now. So my thought is I want to put a little yellow in the background here. I got a new stencil by Tim Holtz, Stampers Anonymous, and it's called Bubbles. I'm just feeling that I want that in this background, so let's do it. I've got this paint by Arteza Sunflower Yellow. It's just calling to me. We're going to do a little bit of reverse stenciling here. We're just going to put some of this paint down. And I'm going to put the stencil on over the top. I don't even have any water out yet on my desk, but I'll use the baby wipe since I've got it handy. And we're just going to pick up that color right through the stencil. And it makes a cool texture. So we're going to do that a little bit. Keep working this background. Just a little here and there to add interest, right? Pick some of that up. Neat, neat. Should I bring it down a little bit closer? See what I'm doing here? There. That's a little bit better. Alright, so I'm just going to work on this background here. And I will go ahead and do that. So we're going to put some white gesso on the background too, maybe for some idea of clouds in the background. Maybe we'll do this like this one, see what happens. Ooh, I like that. I like that. So let's do some more of that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put some music on and keep continuing to work on this background. And you just follow along and enjoy while I create. And hopefully it'll give you an idea or two. And I'll be back. I'll get the background ready, put the houses on, and I'll just leave some music on for you to enjoy. Okay? I'll be back. almost dry. And look at how adorable. It's like a little town. I really love it. I'm going to use my Faber-Castell um, big brush pit marker in the color Nougat, and it's 178. And as you saw before, I covered everything on my paper with my matte medium. That way it gives it a non-porous surface, and it allows me to go around these houses and smudge it with my finger here and give it a bit of depth and dimension. And I really like how that works out. So you can see I'm going to go around everything and give it just a little bit of shadow by using my big brush pit marker, and it works really, really well. And you just smudge it with your finger, and then everything will be permanent after it dries, because this is Indian ink in these markers, and that's going to be permanent, like I said. So it gives it a cool, like I said, shadow. So I'm going to go ahead around everything and do that. I'll do it off camera and come back just to save us some time. And then I'm going to use another one of Sean Petit's stencils, and this is the Garden 2 stencil. And what I'm going to do is use these small ones down here and some green paint, and I'm going to make like trees around in my whimsical village here. So I'll be back and I'll show you how I'm going to do that with some of this olive green paint. So I'm going to go around everything and I'll be right back at ya. Here we go. I went around everything with that brown pit marker, and I went here to give like accent to the doorway entries. Now I want to add a little stamping. I grabbed out my tin of all of these really cool stamps. They're art by Marlene, and this last Christmas she had a advent calendar with all of these cool stamps in it. So I keep adding to this tin, and I have quite a nice collection here. So this one did not come in the collection. It's something that I had, and it's got this really cool scallop. I'm thinking I want to put that on some of just two of these houses, maybe, just because maybe even three, because it makes it look real whimsical. And I have another stamp here with these hearts, and I really want to maybe put those around the bottom edge, and I will do that. And like I said, I'm going to use this Sean Petit stencil down here, and I'm going to use it as a tree. Get my palette out again here, clean off some space, and I'm going to use this Arteza olive green paint because I think it will go nicely with my other colors. And don't need much, and again I'm using a makeup sponge. I use these all the time, and when they get dirty, like this one for example, you just cut the end off and then you can keep using it many times. So let's see if this is going to work. I will do one on camera here for you and see what happens, and then I'll probably finish off camera. I'm trying to keep my videos a little bit shorter for you so that you get some time to actually do some creating. I'm just dabbing it through there real carefully, and not too much paint because I don't want it to seep under. Let's see what we got. Yeah, really cute. So I'm going to go ahead and add that all around. I'm going to add my black border on my houses in a few spots, and I'm also going to use another pencil from Sean And this is Bicycle Stencil, and I thought this small one here would be just absolutely adorable um, alongside of this house propped up. So I'm going to do all of those things off camera, and I'll be back and you'll see how absolutely adorable it is. We'll do some finishing touches. I might add just a few dots here to the background. I think it needs something, and we will call this project good. I'll be right back. Okay, here you go. What do you think so far? The bike may be a little dark, but maybe when I fill in these with some white gel pen, it will all tie together. I'll put some white accents in also. I did put these white hearts, or did stamp these hearts down on the bottom, and I did some stamping here for smoke coming out of the chimney and just to add a little bit of dimension into the background. So I'm going to use my white gel pen, and this is a Signo white gel pen, and I'm going to add white into these hearts down on the bottom, and I think that will look real nice. And like I said, I'll add a little bit of a little bit of white highlights, maybe a little bit of doodling on here. Here's some circles I can add in, and I'll put white inside of these loops here. That's going to make it look a lot more whimsical and playful, and I'm hoping that the white will tie it all together. I got to be real careful that I'm not wrecking my pens because it's a little bit wet yet, and I think I just wrecked that one. So I believe I will let this sit overnight, and I will finish it in the morning before work. This one seems to be working real good. And you'll be able to see all the little details in the pictures at the end. So thanks so much for hanging in there and checking out this whimsical little village of houses. I thought it turned out fun, and again, we will see you again next week. I have a few real fun mixed media projects up my sleeve, ready to go for next week. So stay tuned and keep creating, and have a great, great week. Thanks so much for stopping by.